Today we are talking about the Carolina rig. The Carolina rig is a soft plastic bottom style rig that consists of a main line, a bullet or slip style sinker, barrel swivel, leader line, an offset style worm hook, and then a soft plastic. In this case, I have opted to use a paddle tail shad, curl tail worm, or a creature bait are very popular options as well. There's always a time and a place for when you want to use certain rigs. The Carolina rig, because it is a bottom rig and usually a slower retrieve, is ideal for summer when those bass get really sluggish and don't want to pursue baits very quickly. It's also when they get pretty pressured because you have a lot of boaters and anglers on the water. So being able to drop something down low and just sneak it past them is usually your ticket to success. I also enjoy using this setup at night, where the noise of the sinker hitting the barrel swivel will draw fish in. For additional noise, you can do two smaller weights. You can add a glass clacker bead to it as well. I know down in Mexico, it is very popular to use two smaller tungsten weights because the noise of them clacking together draws fish in because it sounds like a crayfish clapping its tail across the bottom. Now we're going to cover the parts of a Carolina rig as well as how to tie them. First, we need an offset style hook. Right here, I have your classic offset worm hook. This is a 2/0 Gamakatsu. And then I also have a EGW or extra wide gap worm hook. These are the Eagle Claw brand. But as you can see, the difference between these two is there is a significantly wider gap. What that does is when the bass strikes, it gives a much deeper area for the soft plastic to compress into, resulting in a supposed higher hookup ratio. This does add a little bit of belly that you'll see here when I rig it. However, these are popular for that reason, especially when you're targeting larger fish that have a thicker jaw on them. After that, we have our swivels. This is a size 8 Spro power swivel. It is teeny tiny, however, it still is rated up to 50 pounds. If you're doing a whole lot of heavy structure, weedy areas, I may suggest bulking this up to a heavier swivel. But for a majority of the fishing you're going to be doing, this size 8 is more than sufficient. And then we have our bullet sinker. Again, these can come in either lead or non-toxic options such as tungsten. That bullet design is going to allow it to sink through cover a little easier. And I have that in a 3/16, so almost a 1/4 ounce on that. And of course, you are going to need whatever your leader line is. In this case, I've got some 15-pound fluorocarbon, and then whatever your main line is going to be. I've got a 20-pound braid that I have on my bait caster. So let's go ahead and get this guy tied up. So as promised, we're going to be using that extra wide gap worm hook. One of the things that separates the Carolina rig from a Texas rig is that the sinker doesn't come in contact with the hook. You're gonna see what I mean on that in just a minute after I tie my leader line together. And for this, I'm doing a real simple uni knot. I find this to be one of the most repeatable knots out there. There are certainly other very effective options, such as Albrights. What I highly recommend in everyone's tackle bag is a set of nail clips. It saves your teeth, and that way you're not trying to use a pocket knife to trim that. We can measure out anywhere between 6 inches and 1.5 feet of leader line, depending on how you plan on fishing. I like to leave mine right around 1 foot or a little extra because you will lose some when you tie it. You're going to secure that leader to your swivel. And I'm again using the same uni knot, because if there's anything I like to do, it's keep it simple. Now we have basically a pre-tied barrel swivel leader setup. Next, we are going to take our bullet sinker and thread that onto our main line. It is a little bit different than our Texas rig. So we're going to attach the main line to the barrel swivel in the same manner that we did with our leader line. There you have a more or less completed Carolina rig. When I say more or less completed, it's because we are missing a soft plastic. Now, the beauty of the Carolina rig is that you can use nearly any soft plastic that you would like. You've got your creature baits, in this case, one of our lizards. You have your curly tail worm, or you could even do something like a fluke. We're gonna keep it classic and go with our worm, because you can find those just about everywhere. Remember how we do a weedless rig for these is you're going to insert the hook point and drive it through the first 1/4 inch or so. Slide it down up until that little jog in our hook. And you're going to push the worm forward, driving that hook through. And there you have a relatively weedless soft plastic. The hook is laying in the back and the barb is not exposed. And how I was talking earlier about that extra wide gap allowing for a higher hookup ratio, you can imagine when that fish comes, he's going to grab it, he or she, I should say, we're not going to misgender our fish, and they're going to push down when they grab, and that extra space is going to allow for a higher likelihood that that barb will be exposed and penetrate through the upper lip. And there you have a completed Carolina rig. Now let's go fish it. Now, for your rod and reel, you can go almost with anything. That's the beauty of fishing for the most part. However, I recommend a bait caster. This is my Lose Classic speed spool with a 6.4 to 1 ratio, which is a tad on the slow side. I prefer a faster retrieve speed, and you may as well based on the conditions that you're fishing in. However, we'll work with what we got today. This is on a 6.6 medium fast. Where I fish, there tends to be a lot of cover, so the shorter rod works for me. However, you can easily go up to, there's another bass over there, a 7.6 to get more range, because this is an ideal search bait. You're going to be able to cast it over long distances and work it slowly across the bottom. This is one of my favorite rigs to use when I'm new to an area, because it allows me to quite honestly map out the bottom by how my bait hits the bottom, what it connects with down there. Am I fishing sand, rocks? Are there stumps down there? Is there a drop off? The ideal Carolina rig presentation area are places that have a contoured bottom without a lot of heavy cover and heavy structure. This isn't like a Texas rig that is designed to be dropped into lily pads and things like that. Try to fish areas where you have sandbars, mud flats, drop-offs and rocky bottoms like we have here behind me. This is going to allow for more contact with your weight, imitating fish, and prevent you from getting hung up. So let's get fishing. So what you're going to need to do when casting a Carolina rig, because of the separate distance between the weight and the lure, or in something like a Texas rig, they would be grouped together,
is you're going to need to do more of a looping, it's known as a lasso cast. Your sharp back and forth over the head is going to cause backlashes. So it's going to be much more of a toss. That was not a particularly far one, but you can understand what we're going for.
This rig fishes a little differently depending on what you're doing with it. You can simply drag it across the bottom where this weight is going to slide and bounce into whatever is down there, and your soft plastic is going to come trailing behind it, like you'd see with a crippled fish or crayfish, leech, any bottom bait. You can also do the pop or lift and drop method, which is as you're retrieving, pop your rod tip and let it settle back down again and take up a couple of cranks. That is going to bring your weight up and it's going to sink back down. And then your soft plastic is going to follow that same pattern. It's going to come up in the water column and it's going to drift back down, and that will trigger strikes. It is important that you maintain pressure on the line, reduce the amount of slack, because that's going to be a subtle hit. If there's slack in that line when the bass grabs it, you're not going to know he's there. So always try to maintain some pressure on that line. After you pop, slow retrieve in. So we're talking about that higher gear speed really helps with that retrieve to make it nice and smooth.
And I'm fishing along a rocky bottom so I can feel that bullet weight come in contact with the bottom every time I hit one of these rocks. So I know that when I do that, I can pop the rod tip again and let that soft plastic bump back up. When you do have a hookup, avoid striking straight up. What this is going to do most often is pull the bait out of the fish's mouth. Instead, go for a low angle sweep while keeping pressure on the rod. This is going to drive that hook point directly into the fish's mouth and keep that pressure on them.